7th light body level. On the 7th level of light body, you begin to get into the emotional stages of light body, becoming more and more receptive to the heart center. As you open up to the heart, there is a sense of connection to the planet, the feeling of being in love with him. Something like exclamation mark, if I do not hug this tree, I will have a section. A playful spirit begins to emerge in the 7th level of light body, and behavior reflects a bit of the child in you. At that time, if you have blockages in the emotional body, they begin to appear, because when you begin to express the divinity and amplitude that are peculiar, blockages begin to dissolve. Part of this process is fun and part is not. It depends on how much control the mental body wants to keep. If the mental body is in tune, the dissolution of these locks naturally occurring quickly and easily. It is possible that you become more emotional as they pass through this level and emotionally feel as if they were children. When they are sad, they cry. When they are angry, they cry. And when they are happy, laugh. Express ecstasy or any other emotion for which are going through the emotional body. They get to be like gifts never been. You know, in the karmic game, the mental body lives in the future. It is always the what if. The emotional body lives in the past, reacting according to previous experiences. Therefore, you rarely feel what is happening right now. On the 7th level of light body, you begin to feel the now. Greater synchronization between the different plans allows you to have longer periods of full experience of this. The feeling that this provides is very good. When the emotional body frees itself from all the old conditioning, it is inevitable that many relationships come to an end. With free emotional body of all the old ideas about reality and all the emotional attachments of the mental body, relationships begin to change very quickly. In the 7th, the 8th and 9th levels of the light body, personal relationships become what we call transpersonal. This means they are not based more on emotional attachment, are based, rather, on intuition that tells them if the spirit is or is not guiding you to that person at that particular time. It's a very different way of relating. When the person is on the 9th level light body, it operates normally in this way most of the time. It can sometimes seem cool to others, not to use traps and emotional blackmail. Attitudes like I will not blackmail him and I will not fall into their trap can leave the other extremely angry people. This is part of the process for the body of light. Step in which the person passes the karmic relationships for non-karmic, or for relationships guided by the spirit. On the 7th level of light body, the heart chakra begins to function in a way much broader than he was used to. Many people feel chest pain that probably do not mean angina. The feeling is not the same as heart attack, because it comes from the center of the body and radiates outward. It is the heart chakra door opening up. If the person is in a state of meditation and want to move on to other dimensions, it can directly enter in your own heart chakra. On this planet, the heart chakra has a membrane that surrounds and we call Eden portal. You all know that wonderful legend that Adam and Eve were expelled from Eden by portal and an angel with a flaming sword prevents them from returning. It is the membrane of the heart chakra that blocks the passage to the multiple dimensions. Its purpose is to keep this closed passage. Nothing that happens on the physical plane can move on to the astral plane, so that does not affect any other plan besides himself. In part, the way to prevent this from happening is closing part of the heart chakra and thus preventing him from having multidimensional experiences. This membrane is now open for all inhabitants of this planet. The heart chakra has changed its operation and begins to open up to deeper and deeper levels. You can enter in any dimension through the heart chakra. Everything is within you. The heart chakra begins to function otherwise and shall prevail over the other chakras. Most chakras currently has the shape of a cone narrowing in the center and have a swirling motion. But this is also changing. First, they start to take the spherical shape and radiate in all directions at once. Then, when the heart chakra becomes the predominant chakra, it will start to open up completely, causing the chakra system is based on what we call the unified chakra. It is a unified energy field. The feeling is wonderful. In carrying out the meditation of the unified chakra, you stimulate the process light body. When stimulate the fusion of the chakras, you also stimulate the energy bodies, emotional, mental and spiritual, to merge into a single energy field. On the 7th level of light body, the chakras are taken to merge in a whole new way. And you begin to realize that, at times when the fear of death reappear if the emotions are blocked, this means that these fields are disunaram. This is an illusion, although the experience seems real. All you need to do is gather the bodies, making the fusing them so that the fears disappear. The unification of the chakras is very important for you to come to light body, since it allows you to deal with any amount of power however large through the physical body, without causing any damage the entire body supports. There will be times that if the movement of the chakras is not synchronized, to come in contact with a larger part of yourself, you will feel as if they had stuck his finger in a socket. It is as if the current was only 20 volts while you had 400 running through the body. When you make use of the unified energy of the chakras, this does not happen anymore, because they can deal with it at all levels. The pineal and pituitary glands begin to open up on the 7th level of light body, and you can feel a pressure on the forehead or on the back of the head. When the pituitary gland is functioning at its maximum level, one does not age or die. So it's very common for people on the 7th level of light body begin to seem younger. Their energy transforms, their faces and wrinkles disappear. The pineal gland acts multidimensionally. One of the reported experience is the feeling of a cold sting of a sharp pain in the top of the head. Many of you have surely heard about the third eye. Well, there is also something called a fourth view, right at the top of the head. It is the multidimensional view. It is located in the called soft spot, one point that never hardens in most people. In some people, this view opens easily. It is simply the multidimensional view that opens in due time. In others, it is as if she tried to open, but hit against something. It can be an obstacle located in the etheric body. When this obstacle is removed, you feel that the view opens. One begins therefore to have these strange sensations. You can start to become aware of itself in other dimensions or other bodies on the planet, which is very interesting. We call this concurrence. The vast majority of people has 12 counterparts of themselves in other bodies in this parallel reality at this time and on this planet, living totally different lives from what they may be living. They may become somewhat more aware of themselves in other bodies. When this begins to happen, people think they are remembering past lives, which is also possible. But more often, people are conscious of themselves in the parallel reality. Many people incarnate in bodies of dolphins and whales. Consequently, you may have for a few moments, the feeling of being in the water or feel a flow through and around the body, experiences that they are unusual in human form. Of course, dolphins and whales are other sensitive species of this planet. They are also workers of light, which establish the group mental networks of this planet. On the 7th level light body, the consciousness of most beings operates largely dimensional way. Not only will rise tomorrow, as I will heal this planet. I will alone save this planet and the poor wretches who live in it. I will do this. And I'll drag them all into the light. I will protect them from themselves and release them from their karma. and I will rescue them from the forces of darkness. The beings on the 7th level of light body often identify themselves as healers or people who intend to arouse or save themselves, others or the planet. In fact, he is fulfilling his monad's karmic. It takes a while to understand that many parts of you still living in duality. You may be wanting the planet or people sick so you can heal them, they're lost so they can save them, or fall asleep so they can awaken them. Anyway, you may be wondering that people are not perfectly well. On the 7th level, it develops the knowledge that all beings are multi-dimensional masters. They can be teachers who are developing their deity or teachers who are striving to overcome its limitations, but are nonetheless masters. Each is doing exactly what he wants and giving the best of themselves. If the person has spent his life protecting and taking care of everyone around her, this is a deeply liberating revelation. From there begins to find really good, simply let others live their own processes. This is a time when most people are afflicted by a good deal of what is called spiritual arrogance and spiritual ambition. In the physical body, images of reality in which they are totally separated from God are kept in deep layers of shame or guilt. When people begin to have access to the multidimensional side and still not part of the physical body, they seek to deny the ideas we have of reality. People often adopt formulas and spiritual rules. They try to say, wear and do everything right spiritually, eat the food certain, and delete or deny any part of themselves or others that do not match the ideal. The mental body is accustomed to following rules and formulas, and looking hard to find a way to follow the spirit. Spiritual arrogance is a defense mechanism of the mental body from the feelings of shame and worthlessness stored in the physical body. I am spiritually developed and you do not. I am one of 144,000 rainbow warriors and you do not. I'll go through an initiation ritual on Saturday and you do not. I take to the sky and you do not. The spiritual arrogance is by nature exclusive. Spiritual ambition is a defense of mental body against feelings of guilt and incompetence kept in the physical body. People afflicted with spiritual ambition live manipulating others to get what they want. Everything has to be the best, highest and the most advanced. Often, a difference of opinion or comment that they are no certain thing not taken as an attack on his vast knowledge. Spiritual ambition is characterized by a plaintive dissatisfaction and the habit of attributing blame on others. I had a wonderful idea and if you agree to help me, I could realize my purpose divine. It is your fault that I'm not living heaven on earth. Their poverty of ideas are disrupting our prosperity flow. It's your fault I'm out of money. Why did you create it in your life? Please deny what is happening to you so I can feel good. If you were more spiritually developed, this would not have happened. So it's your fault. The spiritual arrogance and spiritual ambition are ego defenses strong. As the spirit will reveal who you really are, multidimensional divine masters, the mental body and the emotional seek grasp this truth personally, trying to set it and cling to it. The physical body often ignore the revelation by the spirit or simply not accept it. Everyone makes use of these defenses sometime in the 7th, the 8th and 9th level. On the 7th level of light body, many people succumb to a standard of manic depressive behavior. At one point declared, I am a multidimensional being divine, and the next minute, proclaim the uselessness itself, I cannot do anything right. They are wavering between feeling multidimensional unity and the sense of separation contained in the physical body. The paradox of being so broad and at the same time, being in a physical body, based on matter, is simply incomprehensible. Oscillate between the two extremes is an attempt to resolve the paradox. But this is not possible. Try feel both poles simultaneously. Let both are fully present. At the end of the 7th level of light body, or at least the 9th level, people are beginning to understand this process and find that they can be happy even living a paradox. You started following the spirit. When they are on the 7th level of light body, there is a feeling of being almost upon him. You are beginning to act according to the spirit in everyday life. Do you realize that the everyday fears are more intermittent? There are days when you feel like children, like everything and everything goes well, and others where the fears come to a head. You feel as if they were two different people. You will find, as you move these levels of light body, that duality tends to disappear. You discover that you spend more time in a state of ecstasy. And they find it possible to live in this state. One of the biggest fears of the mental body during this transition is not be able to live on the physical plane if indeed become a multidimensional being. Do you realize that spend more time conscious of themselves in other dimensions and other bodies on this planet? That's great. You can live normally even in this state. This requires some practice. You begin to activate. All perception that you have is starting to change, and during the practice of meditation, you can see that in other dimensions. Perhaps you also see in other bodies on this planet. There may be moments in which they are in another time, simultaneously plunged into a now that encompasses all knows. This experience is very interesting because then you become aware of the probabilities and possibilities of everything they do while they see all those lines of force coming out of you. You become more aware of the relationship they have with each other and also the depth of the connection they have with the spirit at all times. We observed several times that, on the 7th level of light body, the feeling that is behind everything is I'll go to a higher level tomorrow. I'm out of here. You are coming into contact with parts of yourself that are already in the body of light, parts of the future you. And this makes it easier to control the course of action. Quickly, you evaluate everything they do in life and discover what is really important. Well, as I am already getting out of here, I can pretty much do what I want. I might as well enjoy myself. I might as well do what gladdens my heart. You discover that gladdens your heart, what really satisfies. When they pass to the 8th level of light body, you find that everything that gladdens the heart is directly related to your divine purpose on this planet, and that you are part of the universal plan. On the 8th level of light body, you understand, my God, I will not leave this planet so quickly. I'll be here for a long time. You now have a deeper sense of purpose to serve. And they want to do whatever it takes to help this planet to ascend to the light.